All right, here we are, everybody. Episode 5 of the Techmas Contentment, not Tex-Mex, of the Techmas Contentment series. I guess a bit vulnerable on this one, and it's tough for me, I think, to a degree, is that I don't always feel content with this opportunity. I think sometimes I feel stupid and like I'm wasting time, and that this won't pay any sort of dividends anytime soon, or anytime that I would hope to have it, right? And I think that's a tough pill to swallow. So I think something that I want to talk about, and something that can be, I think, challenging for people at large within, just talking about the things that we have access to and being able to be content within those, or with having those things, or having the opportunity with those things, right? I think especially this day and age, it is potentially ever more challenging to be able to be content with not getting access to all of the opportunities that are out there. Like, I think we can look and see that there's there are things like drop shipping, there are things like what else? Drop shipping, affiliate marketing, storefronts, which I kind of do have a storefront. I do have some tech that I actually list on the thing over on the a website called jawa.gg, which I should probably link that into my link tree as well. But yeah, and I mean, just building off of that, I think it's easy to get sucked into this, that, or the third, right? In terms of wanting to get like a particular revenue stream from XYZ, but then just not really being able to. And I think sometimes understanding that one is not necessarily meant to reach a lot of people inherently. And then I think along with that is that people, if one is meant to reach a lot of people, I think the view point can change, or I think that the ability to reach those people looks different. I think that looks like not necessarily being a popular person, but having some essence of popularity due to association or status, is something that can happen pretty handedly, as opposed to, like here, if it's me and then like just the, however many subscribers. I think there's like 56, because there was like 57, but now there's only 56 of you. But yeah, with that, it's one of those things that is, I think, challenging, because there's always a trade-off, right? Or there seems to always be a trade-off. It's never exactly what one would necessarily, or I think if one does go for one side of things, it seems like there has to be a loss of other things, which isn't necessarily true. I think it's just a matter of understanding, like having people that are trustworthy that can feed you information that you can be like, oh dang, and then like process it because it's trustworthy from that person. Hopefully that makes sense. That seems probably a bit like nebulous or cloud-like in regards to an explanation, but I think it's a lot easier to get a grasp on something when there's someone you can trust explaining it or delivering that information or wisdom on the matter, whatever that may be. Like some people, for instance, like, and I don't know if this is true, but there are, I think I saw someone, I can't remember if it was someone from Think Media or some other like trustworthy YouTube channel out there, trustworthy as far as I'm aware, but they was saying something about that like followers on Instagram is different from followers or subscribers on YouTube, and by trustworthy, maybe I should say like more understanding of the context of like YouTube and kind of the back end of things. But yeah, it's one of those things where, there's less, and I think it's something that put something, it into perspective for me, where even if there's less people on YouTube, the way subscribership works on YouTube versus followers and subscribership on Instagram is that the subscribership and followers on YouTube is actually, it's either more challenging or the mindset of why people subscribe on YouTube is different, and how they have like the algorithm set up, I'm sure. But I mean, ultimately, I think the mindset of people on YouTube is different from the mindset of people on Instagram. Even if it's like, because people still have it set in their mind that YouTube is different from Instagram, which is different from TikTok, and so on. So that is definitely something to consider. But, excuse me, I say all that to say that, this is probably like more of just an encouragement type video where you probably have more than enough. You're probably more than a conqueror than you realize. You're probably further off than you realize. You're probably more of a head than a tail. You're probably more first in a good way and not last, in your journey, I guess, of YouTube video subscription dumb, or online platform navigating than you might think. Because sometimes it feels more like navigating than it does actually building something. Like y'all get, like if someone gets, well, I guess even if someone gets Legos, there's still an instruction booklet, right? Y'all can take that to the bank. And if you feel like dropping some appreciation, PayPal in the link below. But for real, if you do want to support this channel, Any which way helps. There's a Linktree link, and feel free to click on that, check it out, and give me a little some for the holidays. Would not be unappreciated or placed into a bad situation. Probably would end up going to celebrating my wife's birthday, or something along those lines. So something to consider. But anyhow, I just want to hop on here and make a short video, as I believe she is actually going to call me here soon. Excuse me. And I want to be available for that phone call, as I think it would be good to be on the phone and talking a bit. So anyhow, peace. Hopefully you all are good out there and enjoying Christmas so far. Right. Take care.